Good morning. Got y'all sitting in the kitchen window this morning. My eyes are watering. Y'all, when fall gets here and everything, those fall flowers start blooming, my eyes get to watering. Do yours? I'll just put that on my side. Listen, we're going to cook some barbecue ribs today. They had these on special, and I got them when I went to the grocery store. Look at that. Isn't it pretty? They were on sale for $1.88 per pound. And so this is what I got. Let me get my scissors. This is the pan that goes in your oven. And I am going to just, if everybody that got a stove, I guess you got one of these little roller pans. I'm just greasing it with a little solid grease right here, so I won't have such a terrible cleanup. And then what I'm going to do in this pan right here, this is the bottom part. I put some water, a little bit of water in the bottom. I'm going to put this on top. Now the water is going to keep your drippings from these ribs in the water, and it won't be such a hard cleanup. All right, these are spare ribs, and there's 2 packs in here. Now, here's what I suggest during these hard times that we're going through. When you go to the grocery store, and you probably have a list, like I do, but anyway, when you go to the grocery store, head back to the meat counter first. All right, when you go back there and you see what's on sale. Well, this time there was 2 meats on sale. It was this one and let me think what the other one was. I can't even remember what the other one was. Let me put this to garbage. But anyway, there was 2. And this is the one I chose. Now the reason I'm washing it good. The reason I chose this is because we haven't had these in a long time. I'm washing them with just cold water, just kind of giving them a rinse off. All right, here's the other one. Now, if you live alone, or let's say it's just you and your husband, you think, well, Brenda, I can't use all that. Well, you're right, you cannot. You can either cut some ribs off, or you can cook the whole thing and freeze some of it. There it is. Now, I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to cut the whole thing in half between these ribs right here. I'll just cut it about right here, I guess. That looks about halfway. You're cutting between the bone. Then I'm going to cut that little part off. And that way, this will fit on my pan much better, okay? I'm going to put it back here on my pan. I'm going to put the big piece down first, and then this one. All right, let me cut this one in half. Okay, put this in. All right, so I put these 2 really heavy pieces kind of on the bottom, and these other 2 kind of on top like that. I want to make sure it's like that. All right, I'm not going to salt them. I'm not going to pepper them. I'm not going to do anything right now. But after a while, I'll put some barbecue salts on it, and the barbecue salt has salt and all that stuff already in it, okay? What an easy fix this morning. All right, so now I'm going to put them in my oven, and I've got my oven set on 400. But first, I'm going to put just a tip of foil on the top of them. All right, so I'm just going to tin it like this. And I'm going to get them started. I'll flip them over in a little bit. But right now, I'm just getting them started. I'm going to put them in my oven on 400 degrees. And they are heavy. Now, something you can make to go with your, let's say you're cooking for just 2. And you're thinking, well, what can I make to go with it? Well, you could make baked beans or potato salad or cornbread salad. All those are really good with it. But I'm going to make just a baked potato since my oven is on already. That way it'll save money, it'll save time, it'll save energy. So let me go get my potatoes. All right, let me get my potatoes out. I bought a big bag. Let's see how many pounds this thing is. It's a 10-pound bag because that was the cheapest way to buy them. So that's what I got. And what I'm going to do, if I get the bag open, you're not supposed to leave your potatoes, in case y'all don't know it. You're not supposed to leave your potatoes in your plastic bag. And the reason being, because when temperatures change and things happen, it forms moisture in there and the potato can't breathe good. So it's better to have your basket in your kitchen and go ahead and get your potatoes out of this bag and put in some other kind of container. So I'm going to get five or six of these out. They're kind of the same size. 1, 2, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, there's only going to be 5 of us, but that one's got a little place on it. Let me swap it out. There we go. So the reason that I'm going to do some baked potatoes is I'm cooking in the oven anyway. So we could just do it this way. Let me get them washed and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Okay, y'all, I like to eat my potato peeling as well as my potatoes. So what I'm going to do, I've got a little brush here. If I can get it out over here. I'm just going to brush my potatoes good as I wash them. Just give them a good little brushing. Set them to the side. But I love the peeling. I mean, I eat all of mine. See the apron I've got on this morning? You know, I told y'all that I graduated from Tuscaloosa County High School, and we were wildcats. We were wildcats. And so when I went about a month ago to the school and participated in their activities, I was given this apron. They told me I could be an official cook, even though I'm not their official cook, when they're having all this fun stuff. Anyway, I'm going to cook these in a black skillet. All right, there's 5. After I talked to y'all a second ago, I decided I'd cook more than that because, you know, I like them. I can take these baked potatoes and make a twice baked potato or something out of them. So I'm going to, while that oven's hot and electricity's so high, I'm going to go ahead and cook them, several of them, and then I'll have that done. One more. Okay. Now, you know, a lot of times you can wrap each individual potato, and I suggest if you're going to have some fancy company that you might want to do that. But it's just me and mine here today, so I'm just getting a little Crisco, rubbing my hands together in it, and take a potato and grease the potato. Now, this is to keep the skin soft, okay? Because I like the soft skin on mine. You don't want to know hard something. This will be good for my skin today and my fingernails, won't it? And that way we'll cook our ribs and our potatoes at the same time. And I've got butter, I've got sour cream, I've got some little green onions, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. I've got some bacon, and I'll show you my bacon in just a second. Let me get this on. All right, so take it like that, and carry off you a piece of foil. If you don't have a top to stick the skillet, and since mine's coming up so high, I don't have a top, and just kind of tuck it in around the edges a little bit like that. That's going to hold that in there, and I'm going to pop these right in the oven, and we'll have a loaded baked potato to go with our ribs. That sounds good, doesn't it? Hey, y'all, on my barbecue sauce, it doesn't matter what brand I buy or whatever. I always add to it because I like certain things in my barbecue sauce. So what I do is I take a small onion and I cut it just really thin like this, just real thin, and mince it up. Also, what this does is it makes your barbecue sauce go further, but it gives it a really good flavor. So I'm going to cut this up real small, and what I'm going to do is cook this really slow with whatever barbecue sauce that I bought. So I'll show you how I do it, and I'm going to put something else in it too. Yeah, just got to get real small. You don't want big old hunks in it. You just want the flavor and the... You could mince it like really fine if you wanted to, but this does real good for me. Okay? You take your pot that you're going to do your barbecue sauce in, and just put your barbecue sauce in it. Then, to get all the goodie out, I take some just vinegar, and I pour me a little in the bottle. Maybe a tablespoon. Do it up good. And the vinegar tastes really good in it too. So put that in. Put your onions in. And the last ingredient that I put in is, I put a half onion in this because I didn't have much barbecue sauce left. I had already used part of that up. So I'll use a half onion in it. Is brown sugar. I like kind of a sweet and sour barbecue sauce. And I like it fairly thick. So I'm going to put 2 big spoons of brown sugar in it. With that onion and that vinegar and that barbecue sauce, it's going to make it taste really good. And what I'm going to do is put this on my eye right here and let it cook a while. Real slow. Let all those flavors blend together in there. And then when I serve the ribs, I'm going to make sure that my barbecue sauce is hot with stove hot. Because you don't want to put cold barbecue sauce on your barbecue ribs, or I don't. Some people keep their barbecue sauce in the refrigerator, and if they do, then it's going to be cold. So get your little boiler out and add you some good stuff to it, and then it'll taste better on your ribs or your chicken or whatever you happen to be barbecuing, okay? Okay, while our potatoes and our ribs are in the oven, a matter of fact, I turned them on 500 for just about 30 minutes because I thought, you know, they're not going to ever get done at 400, so I turned them on. And I'm going to flip them in a little bit. But anyway, our barbecue sauce is in here, and it's beginning to steep just a little bit. I'm going to do it on a low simmer. Let all that onion flavor and the brown sugar mix with my barbecue. And over here, I've got a skillet, and I'm going to show y'all something. This is called scrap bacon. And the reason is because there's nothing in here that's a real, it's just crazy. I mean, you know, see what I'm saying? This is what you're getting. But this is excellent for going in beans or peas if you're cooking, or if you need to cut up some bacon to go on top of our potato today, then this is what you need. You don't need to cut up those beautiful pieces of bacon that they have in the grocery store to do this. It's better just to buy the cheaper scrap bacon. Well, it doesn't say scrap bacon on there. I don't think it does. And that way, you don't have to spend as much money. I'm trying to show y'all some ways you can conserve. Now, this is going to go on our, see, like, look at that piece. Isn't that crazy? But it's great for what I'm using, which is bacon to go on top of our baked potato. I'll show y'all a big old piece in here that sometimes you'll get just a big giant piece in there. Let me get one out and see if you can see it. So, let's see, like this. All right, there's a piece that's in it. See? See how thick? This would be a good one to go into your, maybe your green beans or something like that. And here's how Daddy always cut it. He took his salt pork or his fat or whatever, and he'd take a piece of meat like that, and Mama did the same thing. See, that's the rind right there. And he would do this. He'd cut little, wrong side. He'd cut little slits in it like this. And I know you've seen it in peas and stuff. And that way all your flavor can get out of there, and your meat is so tender. And he would do it like that and put it in his peas or his beans. And Mama did the same. They both did it. See, your rind is on that side. We used to fight to see who was going to get this part. I love it. I mean, I do. I love the fat like that. But I'm not doing that today because I'm not cooking peas or beans. I'm doing potatoes. So I need all this little scrappies today. Like that. Little chunks. So anyway, I want to, if you've never bought any bacon that was just bits and pieces, sometimes they'll say bits and pieces or scrap bacon or whatever. I use this a lot when I'm cooking because a lot of times I'm scrambling it up. Okay, let me get it browned up for our potatoes. Okay, y'all, our little bacon is done. And so what I do is I hold my skillet up like this. Let all the grease travel to the bottom of the pan. And I'm going to put my bacon in a little bowl, and it'll be ready to put on our potato when they get ready. I'll show you how pretty it turned out. I'm just not one for bacon bits, y'all. I'm sorry. I know you can order the bacon bits, you can buy them and all, but I just love fresh fried bacon. But for those of you who like the other, that is perfectly all right. You just put bacon bits on top of yours. That'll be great. But I just want me some of this. All right, now what I'm going to do now is this grease that's left in here, I'm going to pour it in my little grease keeper. Now the reason I'm doing that is because I make gravy all the time and cook all the time, and I need to save all my bacon grease. I'm certainly not going to throw it out. All right, so here's our little bacon. See how pretty it looks? And they can just get them a spoon and fix their potato with their butter and salt, pepper, cheese, and then put them a little bacon on top. I think I'll just eat one. Let it be in my mouth for a few minutes. It tastes so good. I love it. Okay, I'm going to get my ribs out. Not because they're done, but because I'm going to flip them. Can y'all see them? They look good, don't they? I want to put the one that's on the bottom on the top. Let me get me out of something here to help me out. These are the two that's on the top. Woo! Come on, fella. I need me or something to fix this. Let me see what I can do here. Here we go. Now then. Now I'm going to turn these two over. Like this. Like that. There we go. Now then. That's how I want it. I want to flip those over. Then I'm going to put these back on. They're not anywhere near done yet. Okay, now then, put this back on top of them to hold in the steam and everything. Let me check my water in the bottom. Let me listen. See, make sure I've still got some. I think I could feel a little wiggling around in there. All right, put them back on in the oven gently because you don't want to spill the water. Now, my potatoes are in there, and they're doing fine. Whew. All right, y'all. And you're going to know when they're done. They'll be just real tender, almost falling off the bone. And then I'm going to put my BQ salts on it. And we'll be ready. Okay, y'all, our potatoes are done. I wanted to let you see how I check them. I just take a long skewer, and I just stick them in it. And see how easy it goes in? Pull them out. So, our potatoes are ready. Okay, y'all, our ribs are done. Look how pretty. And just as tender as can be. Now I'm fixing to sauce them with some good barbecue sauce. All right, let me look. Okay, what I'm going to do, hold on a minute, let me get something. All right, so what I'm going to do is cut them up, okay? Like this. Here's your, they're hot, so I got to have a rag or something to hold them. All right, so you see your bones in there? You're going to cut between those. So I'm going to hold it up here close. And it's just as tender as it can be. And I'm going to cut that rib off, okay? And I'm going to the next one. There's one. There's another rib. Can y'all see that? I know my hair looks so frightened today. I can't help it. I can't help it. I'm putting them in a metal pan, this one right here, and I'm going to put the barbecue sauce over it and cover it back till we get ready to eat them. Okay. Anyway, I am going to keep cutting these up. Here's that big one, and I'll show you this one. Let's see, let me cut this little one right here first. I might have gotten this one here a little bit too done, but I like the crusty on it. I can't wait to eat me a rib. Now, you people that live with just a few in your family, don't avoid the ribs just because you only have a small family. Get you some ribs and cook them. This is not just for big families or parties. Y'all can have these anytime you want to. Now, let me get my barbecue sauce out and let me show you how I'm going to do this. Alright, so I've got these out like this. I'm going to stir that around and put a little dab on everything like this. While it's still good and hot. And all my children like my barbecue sauce because it's not hot. In other words, it's tasty and it's zesty, but it's not something you can't put in your mouth. Does your mouth water when you eat something like that? All right, now here's those two big pieces. Let me get them where I can manage them. The two fatter ones. All right, now you've got, in these, you've got a spot right here that's not really, I mean, it's hooked together and separate from these ribs. So you're going to have to cut it differently. In other words, cut this down like that. Oh, gosh, that looks good. Just like that. See how tender? Let me pick one up and show you. You can, just look at there. Isn't that pretty? All right, let me put these over here in my pan. I sharpened my knife before I came in here to do this. I knew I'd have to. Look, that's how tender it is. That just fell off the bone. It's going to be good, y'all. It's going to be good. All right, one more to go. One more right here. And we're going to put the rest of our barbecue sauce on and we'll be ready to chow down. I wish I could tell you an easier way to do this. I don't know an easier way. Y'all just have to tell me. All right, now this big old piece right here, I'll just put it to the side for me for later, because it won't be any pretty eating, I can tell you. But I love to have that piece. All right, here's my pan, and you can see that it's going to be hard cleaning it, but it's going to be a lot easier since we greased it. And here is my pan right here. Can you see the grease that's in the bottom? Can you see that? That's grease and water. And so that's going to be a lot easier to clean. I'm going to take mine out to the woods and do it. Okay, I'm going to put some barbecue sauce on these. And then we'll be ready. Our potatoes are ready. The kids will be here in a little bit. And we will just have us something good to eat. All right, let's get the rest of our salts. What a mess I have made. I don't want to have to wash that right this second, so I'm going to put this on it just so I can show y'all. I don't want to get the bottom of my pan messed up. I'm going to put this over in a minute. Okay. Let's get the rest of our barbecue. And this barbecue sauce, see, is nice and hot right now. Just like that. Wait a minute. I want to get some on that one. Okay, what I'm going to do is put this little extra barbecue sauce right here on the table in case somebody wants to put some extra on theirs. There's a little extra in there. All right, y'all. Here it is. Now, you tell me that doesn't look good. It's going to be good. Let me take this one. Well, that's too big. I was going to eat one just to show you. I'll eat this one. This is how you eat barbecue ribs. Number one is you need on an apron to eat it. And you always need cloth napkin, because I'm telling you, you can't eat it with a paper towel. You'll tear it up. You just take a bite of the rib. Not that. See there? Mm-mm. You have to lick your lips a lot. You can't eat barbecue ribs, look at that, with a fork and knife, y'all. See how it's coming off the bone? That shows how tender it is. These are delicious. It's finger licking good. So good. One time, when George and I were cooking for weddings, oh my goodness, I've got it all over me. This sweet bride, bless her heart, I don't know what she's thinking of. She and her future husband, they wanted barbecue ribs for their after rehearsal dinner party. And may I say that it is not an appropriate, gosh, have I got barbecue all everywhere? I have. It's not an appropriate thing to serve ribs when you've got on a beautiful party dress and a suit and a tie. So don't do that. Think of something nice to eat that you can eat with a fork and a knife. not barbecue ribs. But if you're having a hoedown and everybody's going to wear their jeans and not too fancy clothes, get you some barbecue ribs. That's what you need. Talk to you in a little while. I'm not going to show you the baked potato because I know you know how to fix a baked potato. Split it open. Put your butter and your sour cream on it and your cheese, bacon and onions on top, and it'll be delicious, y'all. You know how to do that. So fix your baked potato to go with it. Love you. Bye-bye.